Hello and welcome to Asan Hai Education. In this video, we will discuss about the pendency of cases in Indian judiciary. What is the status of pendency of cases in Indian judiciary and what is the reason for pendency of cases and what are the consequences of delayed justice when justice is delayed. It is known as justice delayed is justice denied. Okay, and we will see the way forward and how we can tackle the problem of pendency of cases in Indian judiciary. So let's start this video and discuss pendency of cases in Indian judiciary in great detail. Okay, see, this data is up to April 2018. Okay, as of April 2018 there are over 3 crore cases pending across the Supreme Court, High Court and subordinate court including district court. Okay, so as of April 2018 there are more than 3 crore cases which are pending at different level. For example, Supreme Court, High Court and district and subordinate court. Okay, there are more than 3 crore cases pending, and of these 3 crore cases, of these the subordinate courts account for over 86% of pendency of the cases, followed by 13.8% pendency before the 24 high courts, and now there are 25 high courts, and the remaining 0.2% of the cases are pending with the Supreme Court. In India, the highest court of appeal is the Supreme Court, and there are 0.2% cases of 3 crore cases pending before the Supreme Court. 86% of the pendency of cases takes place in subordinate court, and there are 13.8% pendency cases before the High Court. And see, there has been rise between 2006 and 2018 up to April. There has been a rise of 8.6% in the pendency of cases across all the court. Pendency before the Supreme Court increased by 36%, High Court by 17% and subordinate court by 7%. So the pendency of cases is taking place at a higher rate and we are not able to effectively provide justice to the needy. So let us see this data in a more detailed way, then we will discuss all those things in great detail. See, there are more than 3 crore cases pending in different courts of India. Many of these cases are pending for more than 10 years. So the cases which are pending in different courts are more than 3 crore cases, but there are many cases which are pending for more than 10 years. So let us see what are the approximate number of cases which are there. Are around 60,000 cases which are pending in the Supreme Court. 42 lakh cases are pending in different high court, and we have 25 high courts at present time, and around 2.7 crore cases pending in district and subordinate court. And when you all count all these cases pending, this comes more than 3 crore cases which are pending at different levels. Okay, now let us see what are some of the regions which provide the pendency of cases at different level. First is there are not enough judges. We have the lack of judges at different level. See, there are not enough judges. Only around 21,000 judges are at present at different level, High Court, Supreme Court and district and subordinate court. Current judge to population ratio is 10 to 1 million. That is, on per 1 million population there are only 10 judges. Okay, 1 million means 10 lakh. On 10 lakh population there are only 10 judges, but the law commission way back in 1987 recommended at least 50 to 1 million. Okay, so the law commission in its report in 1987 has recommended that there must be at least 50 judges per 1 million population, but presently we have only 10 judges per 1 million population. So you can see what a paradox exists in the number of judges in India. Currently judges to population ratio is 10 to 1 million, that is per 10 lakh population we have 10 judges, but law commission way back in 1987 in its report suggested that there must be at least 50 judges to 1 million population. Okay, population has also increased by over 25 crores since 1987, but we are not able to increase the number of judges. And what is the reason? Because there is a tug of war exists between center and state and executive and judiciary. Okay, see, more than half of the posts are vacant. There is a conflict between judiciary and executive regarding the appointment of judges to Supreme Court and High Court, because Supreme Court says that we will appoint judges by ourselves, and executive, that is the government, sits on the name recommended by the judiciary. So there is a tug of war which exists between the judiciary and executive, and this results in the pendency of appointment of judges. Okay, so different level to Supreme Court and High Court. So let us see some of the more regions. You can see there are also not enough courts in India. See, Indian judiciary has insufficient resources. Both center and state are not interested in increasing spending with respect to judiciary. So center and state both lack their willpower to spend on the judiciary. You can see the budgetary allocation for the whole judiciary are pathetic at 0.1 to 0.4% of the whole budget. The budgetary allocation for the judiciary is also very low. Okay, the budgetary allocation for the Indian judiciary is also very low, and this is not taking place. You can see budgetary allocation for the whole judiciary are a pathetic 0.1% to 0.4% of the whole budget. Only 0.1 to 0.4% of the whole budget resources is allocated to judiciary. And India needs more court and more benches to solve the pendency of cases. Modernization and computerization have not reached all the courts. So we have to modernize, we have to take the help of technology, we have to allocate e-filing of cases. Okay, so that this justice reaches to a large section of the population, and computerization have also not taken place, which takes long time in disposing the cases. Okay, this I have told you. And you know who is the largest litigant in Indian judiciary? There is too much litigation from the government side. Government is the largest litigant in the judiciary because government files the most number of cases, and the cases are filed against government in judiciary. You can see the government is the largest litigant in India, responsible for nearly half of the pending cases. Many of them are actually cases of one department of the government suing another, leaving decision making to the court. Also, in most of cases when government files a case, it is seen the government slide fails to prove the point. So, government is the largest litigant in India. Most of the cases which are pending in Indian judiciary, more than half of the cases are filed by the government itself. So, government should reduce its filing of cases in Indian judiciary to reduce the burden. So now let us see what are the consequences of pending cases in Indian court. Okay, so let us see what are some of the consequences of cases pending in Indian judiciary. The common man's faith in justice system is at an all-time low. So the common man's faith in justice is lowered down because people are not able to get justice at a time, and it is said that justice delayed is justice denied. Okay, and it denies the poor man and under trial prisoners their due of justice. So when justice takes so much time to deliver, it denies the poor man and under trial prisoners their due of justice, because it is also seen that the persons who are under trial, they have spent more time in their jail if they were convicted of the cases. For example, if you are arrested under Arms Act, you will be prisoned for 5 years. But from last 10 years, they are serving in judges. So you can see that this denies the poor man and under trial prisoners their due of justice, because they are not provided justice at the right time. It denies the poor man and under trial prisoners their due of justice. Okay. Economic reforms remain only the paper without speedier justice system. Economic reforms are also not taking place. Foreign investors are increasingly doubtful about the timely delivery of justice, which affect the success of programs like Make in India, Startup India. So the foreign investors who are coming to India to invest, they are fearful that if we face any case with the litigants, this will take so much time and we will not be able to get justice at a faster rate. So they are not able to come to India to start the business, for example, in Make in India, Startup India. So the foreign investors are also affected due to the pendency of cases in Indian judiciary, and they are reluctant to come to India to start the business. And judiciary is unable to handle the avalanches of litigation. Judiciary becomes overworked and loses its efficiency. As it is said, justice delayed is justice denied, and justice hurried is justice buried. Okay, so judiciary is not able to handle the avalanches of litigation. Judiciary becomes overworked and loses its efficiency. This quote you have to remember: justice delayed is justice denied. That is, when you delay someone's justice, it means that you are denying him of the justice, because if the justice must be delivered within 5 months and you are taking 5 years, as it was seen in the case of Nirbhaya gang rape. Okay, there also justice was delayed. Justice delayed is justice denied, and justice hurried is justice buried, because when you take any justice or when you take any decision in hurry, then there can be miscarriages of justice as well. Okay, so you have to keep a optimal balance between justice delayed and justice hurried, so that you can deliver the best judgment possible. Okay, now let us see the way forward. What is the solution to the problem of pending cases in Indian courts? The government needs to double the number of judges and create all India judicial services, so that the appointment of judges can be made faster. Okay, so the government needs to double the number of judges, because we are at present time we are having only 10 judges per million population, and we have to do it up to 20 judges per 1 million population. And as the law commission has recommended way back in 1987 that there must be 50 judges per 1 million population. Okay, so the number of judges should be immediately raised to at least 50,000 from the current 21,000. At present, we are having only 21,000 judges at different levels. So the number of judges must be raised to at least 50,000. And we have to fix the NJAC controversy. What is NJAC controversy? National Judicial Appointment Commission at the earliest, and start appointing judges in the Supreme Court and High Court. This tug of war which is going between the center and the judiciary, this must go away, and we should appoint judges at a faster rate. And we have to set up more court in fast track medium. We have to establish Lok Adalat and Gram Nyayalayas to resolve the disputes at the local level itself. So these are some of the solutions that government must increase the number of judges. It must double the cases, and the number of vacancies of judges must be raised to 50,000 from the current 21,000. And we have to fix the NJAC controversy, National Judicial Appointment Commission controversy, where executive and judiciary are in tug of war to appoint the judges, and we have to appoint the judges in the Supreme Court and High Court, and we have to fix more court. We have to set up more court in the fast track court mode, and we have to implement the Lok Adalat and Gram Nyayalayas to dispense justice at a faster rate. So in this video, what we have seen the number of cases pending in judiciary at different level. For example, Supreme Court, High Court, District Court and Subordinate Court. We have also seen some of the main reasons. What are the main reasons? Because we have judges to population ratio at very low. We have vacancy at various positions. Okay, so all these things are need to be fixed, and we have to remember this quote that justice delayed is justice denied, and justice hurried is justice buried. So we have to provide justice at a timely rate, and we have to provide justice at a fair rate, so that justice is not denied to the people, poor or weaker sections. Okay, thank you for watching. Have a great day.